here, and today we are going to be talking about inner child healing, and I will also be inviting my guest Marley Love, who will be joining us very shortly. So before I continue to talk about inner child healing, I'm just going to put the comments in so that people who joined later will be able to see this. So the topic here is inner child healing. Hello, hi baby J. Hi Marley. Okay, great. So yeah, hi baby J. So basically today I'm going to be talking about inner child healing. Oh, I forgot to pin the comment. Let me pin the comment so that people know that this is what this is the topic for today. And I will be inviting Marley, who is going to be hopping on because she has an amazing story to tell with regards to inner child healing. I'm good. How are you? What's your name? Is it Baby J or should I call you something else? Hey, hi Pushkar. Thanks for joining. Okay, so I'm going to dive in straight into the topic of the day today, right? So what is inner child healing? So all of us, right, I would say even 100% of humans on this planet Earth has issues that we carry around in our body. And we carry around not just in our body, but the way we think, the way we behave, the way we do everything in this whole world is really around the kind of wounds, the kind of impression and the beliefs that we have when we were a child, right? And it could also be impression that you had when you were growing up from teachers and authorities and all of that. Thank you for the hearts. Oh, so essentially what inner child healing is about is when you can really go in to heal that deep inner wound that is inside you that you are not even aware of, and that is where you can catapult to the next level, right? So I'm going to be inviting Marley in just a second, but I thought I would just go through to let you guys know what is inner child healing and why do you want to do that, right? So let me see. Baby J say, oh hi, you're a Jacinta. Hi Jacinta. And there is Denise who has joined. Welcome Denise. And Personal Finance Queen. Wow, I like Personal Finance Queen. It's like Finance Queen. That is fantastic. Thank you for all the hearts is coming in. So okay, so that is what that is the reason why we want to do inner child healing, right? So your little child, the child that's within you, needs to be healed before it can actually move forward. So I guess the best way to really give an example of why you want to do inner child healing is from my own experience as well. So when I first started to be an entrepreneur in 2017, I was terrified. Like for the first 3 months in my business, I was so terrified that I cannot move forward. I was like really self-sabotaging without even realizing I was self-sabotaging. I couldn't do anything. I wasn't really doing much. And obviously I wasn't earning much in my business because I wasn't doing much, right? And there was this fear that is just hindering me from moving forward. And that fear later on when I did that inner child healing session myself was that fear was an entrepreneur cannot make money, right? That was that fear. And it's not logical because I know in my mind that entrepreneurs make money. There are lots of entrepreneurs who make freaking loads of money, and so it can't be true that entrepreneurs cannot make money. But having that logical thinking doesn't help me, and it doesn't help you too. Logically, you know a lot of things, right? You know that you can be, a lot more than you are. You can make money. You can do all kinds of shit, but you are not doing it. Why? And the reason why you're not doing it is because internally there is a block and you cannot move forward when that block is inside of you. And so it's really, really hard because logical thinking is not going to make it go away. And that is why inner child healing is so important, because of the fact that there is nothing you can do to logically move it away. You can logically tell yourself all kinds of story, and you can even program your story, but that is not going to help you, right? And so in my experience, when I was doing the inner child healing session, I realized that as I was going through the process, I recall when I was young, and I was staying with my father. Then my father was a poor entrepreneur. Like, he didn't make any money, or he didn't make much money. And I was constantly hungry. Really, as a child growing up, I was constantly hungry. So basically, I was so hungry that I remembered every day at 4 p.m. in the evening, around there, because I always get very hungry at 4 p.m. and I didn't have anything to eat. I only had 15 cents that is available for me every day. And I would stand at my balcony at that time. I was staying in a flat, and I would wait for this peddler to come, and because he sells this coconut bun, which is filling, I only have 15 cents, and I'll wait for him so that I can go down and get my coconut bun. And there was this feeling that clench in my stomach every time, right, when I was doing that. And when I was doing the inner child healing, I was just like, I still like, that feeling was with me when I was doing my entrepreneur journey in the first 3 months. So that was this clench in the stomach that goes like, ugh. And that was the fear that has clung on to me since I was growing up. So it wasn't like I was 5 years old, I was then like in my teens, but then it was still really much real, and it stayed with me to the point that so from an energetic perspective, there is this fear, right? There's this fear that entrepreneur cannot make money, and I had that experience as a child because my father could make money, and that fear just held on to me until I was immobilized. Like, that is how powerful that happens, right? Like, that is how powerful it is, that things that sort of like is within you, it clings onto you, you have no logical explanation for it, and then you just cannot move forward because of this illogical thing that has happened, right? It sounds illogical to anybody that I would be talking to, and in fact even to myself. But during that time when I am able to know the reason why I had this fear, this irrational fear, it really brought me back to my childhood, that I didn't have anything to eat, and that I was in such a fear that the association with entrepreneurship was that I'll be starving and I'll have nothing to eat, because that was my reality when I was growing up. Like, I literally had only rice with fried eggs 300 days in a year. So 365 days, I had 300 days of just fried eggs, right? So so it was, for a long time I didn't eat eggs, I didn't eat fried eggs, and for a long time I didn't eat coconut bun, because there was this association, back to my story when I was a child. So when you do your inner child healing session, it really is able to catapult you. So what happened to me was, after I did that healing session myself and went through it myself, I started closing sales. I started booking clients every week for the next 4 weeks, and my income level as an entrepreneur shot up. It was almost non-existent in the first 3 months, as you can imagine, because I was like really so scared. I just didn't know why I was so scared. I was terrified. I had this pit in my stomach. Like, every morning I'll wake up looking like as though the world is gonna end. And I also want to tell you the story was like, it is really illogical, because when I first started my entrepreneur journey in 2017, I had like a year of income. I had 15 months of allocated money that could actually pull me through. Like, I knew that I needed money in case it didn't work. Like, that was how fearful I was, right? Like, I was having all this fear, and I had 15 months. So in the first 3 months, logically speaking, I had 15 months of income that, like, I'm not going to starve the next day. I wasn't going to starve the next month. In fact, I wasn't even going to start in the next year until like the next year if really something happens, right? But it was so illogical that, and it was so, I was so terrified. I was just terrified. I just couldn't do anything, right? And so when I had that inner child session, that inner child healing session, it really freed me. It really was able to like push me forward to the next step. And so as a business coach, I know how important it is to clear the blocks inside of you. I know how important it is that the moment you clear those inner blocks inside of you, you are able to move up. And so I have a process of doing that that is able to extract that out of you without you even realizing it. Like things that you go, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that, right? And it was the same for me. I didn't even know that. And it was the same for all my clients that I've done my inner child healing with. And it has been really awesome. And in fact, I've got Marley Love here, who I'm going to be inviting because I want her to also share her story. She just did an inner child healing. And also the reason why I'm sharing a lot of inner child healing session, I wanted to go live. I was really called to go live because all my clients, for whatever reason, wanted, like they needed inner child healing session. They would be like in different parts of their journey in setting up their business, and then they just couldn't move forward. They're like stuck, like for whatever reason they're stuck, right? So this is why I'm doing this. I'm very sure I'm doing this because there are people who need this, and I just can't tell you that you do need to do this. If you feel stuck in your business and you have no logical reason, you don't know why, you probably guess, but you actually have really no idea, because it may be associated with something so far off, something so deep that you probably wouldn't even be able to think about it because it's not logical, right? I'm just gonna take a look at some of the comments that's just come in. So thank you so much. I think Jen has joined. Yeah, I know. I keep seeing Baby J. I know you're not called Baby J, you're called Jacinta. All right, so Jen, so thank you for joining. All right, so, and then there are other people. All right, Janice, you say you need it too. Yeah, that's great. So if you do need an inner child healing session, I do have a 2-hour intensive that I offer, which is really going to be so worth it, because once you've done it, like you are just gonna pop, move forward, right? Like I'm not kidding, because for me, I started booking clients every week after that, and my income level from non-existent, it was up to the next level, right? And every time you clear your blocks, you are just gonna move up, you're just gonna move up, you're just gonna move up. Like that is, you become unstoppable when you kind of like clear all the blocks. And there are layers. I'm not saying like when you do your first inner child healing session that every block is gonna be clear. Like we are all humans, right? We all have a lot of blocks inside of us, and it's sort of like we clear layers and layers of it. And so once we clear the first, like usually when you first do it, you would clear like the huge big, like it's almost like a big boulder, like you clear that huge big boulder, and once you clear that huge big boulder, you kind of like from where you are, which is usually somewhere here, not even here, it's like boom, you go up, right? And you still have blocks, and then but it's easier, it gets easier and easier as you go up. Okay, so I'm going to invite Marley Love to join me. Testimony that I want her to share with you, because she just did hers.
Hi.
Hey, hi.
I'm here. Hopefully you guys can see me. It's so dark.
Looking funky as usual.
Thank you. Hopefully it's good. Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Okay, so Marley, the reason why I'm calling you to join us, because I know you have just like some really like fantastic, amazing shift while doing your inner child healing session, or right after you did your inner child healing session.
Yes.
And I kind of like, I was thinking I should have done that with you like so late in the coaching session.
I know.
But never mind, like we have done it. And so why don't you just go ahead? So Baby J knows you as well, is it?
Yeah, hi.
She says, hey Marley, Jacinta, her name is Jacinta.
Hello, Jacinta. Hi.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and share with us here how the inner child healing has been for you, like what were the blocks, and how has that been like different for you after you've done it?
Yeah, so first, hi everybody, and thanks Melissa for inviting me on.
Oh, sorry,
So,
I didn't ask you to introduce yourself, so please go ahead.
oh, no,
Sorry
no,
about
no worries at all. The main thing is just the inner child healing session that I did with you and how awesome it is. That's my main goal for this live. Um, but yeah, so basically, like Melissa is my business coach. She's an amazing business coach. And as we were going, we realized there was still like some blocks happening. And I'm like, what is going on, you know? And so she suggested to do this inner child healing. And I said, all right, let's do it, you know? And so when we went through it, I had no idea that these blocks were in my life. And like Melissa said earlier, there's just like some things that you really just don't even realize until somebody kind of pulls it out of you. And then when they do pull it out of you, you're like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense, you know? And my personal blocks had a lot to do with my childhood. And I thought I healed it all, but I did not, like at all. I dealt a
it. It's
lot
always
with
like that, right?
it
Like you always
is.
think when I first, when I first went into this limiting belief stuff,
Mhm.
you know what I told myself? I don't have any limiting beliefs.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. That's exactly what I thought. Yeah, it's crazy. I dealt with a lot of my father issues, but I didn't deal with my mother issues that's what I ended up healing on. And I realized that I didn't believe in, what were the words? I didn't I always pretended that everything was okay when it wasn't okay. And sometimes you need to admit that it's not okay so you can have a clear plan to make things like they should be, you know? And then realizing that I do have more than enough and I am safe. And when I realized that and kind of broke through those blocks, literally within a week, I got 2 new clients just like that. And I'm just like,
And you got another one today.
yeah, yeah, crazy. It was so amazing. And I'm just like, this is really awesome. And then um, even one of my books, oh, hey, Ashley, it is very powerful. You would really benefit from this too. So awesome. But one of my book that I ebook kind of wrote, realized that now one of my colleagues is going to take that book and try and get it published for me. And if with like a bigger publisher, and if that doesn't work, then she's going to publish it with her publishing company. So it's just like those little things are happening as well, just like doors opening. And I don't know, it's just amazing. It's so worth it. I even have my husband doing it, and you can just tell. I had my husband do it, and even at work, you can just tell just things are different. And I think everybody should do this, especially if you're an entrepreneur. You need this. And what was it? Even at church this week, my pastor was saying something, you know, because we have like body, soul, and spirit. And a lot of times we want to be led by our spirit, not our body, because our body will do whatever and can lead us into craziness. But like our soul is what will kind of dictate which route we go. So we want our soul to be healed, so it picks the spirit each time. And so like I feel like this inner child healing can help your soul pick the right way to go and lead you to your higher purpose and higher self as well. So just confirmation from what we did
Yeah,
earlier.
great. Because it's
Yeah.
like really, this inner child healing is really being led by your soul, which is like just what my brand is all about, is being soul
Exactly.
driven. And when you get in touch with the stuff, right? The stuff that's like really
Yeah.
holding you back. So your soul actually needs something, but you have stuff. So the stuff that's holding you back needs to be
Yeah.
cleared so that you can actually move forward to the next step. So that is so beautifully said about that.
Yeah.
You know, so it gets back into your soul alignment. Actually, that's yeah. So
Yeah.
again, somebody commented. Yeah, I think Ashley said it's beautifully said.
Thanks, Ashley.